Hey there, gang. Jim Jacobus again. Hope this finds you well. And like I said, safely back home or wherever your destination was after the Texas rally. This is going to be a demo of the RV Trip Wizard software that we use. I'm going to try to show you as many of the tools available here as possible, particularly the ones that I really like, and show you a couple of ways that we plan short trips and then how we kind of plan our long trips. Again, I may forget something here. If I do, don't hesitate, message me, and I'll be glad to jump on here and show you one-on-one or answer any questions that you have. Like I said, this is a great tool. We love it. Doesn't mean it's the only tool. If you have something you like better, then God bless. I appreciate it. Or if you know anything about RV Trip Wizard that I don't share, certainly open to learning about that. We always want to get better at what we do, and so we're open to that. So I'm going to start off by taking you to the very beginning of this particular piece of software. One of the things that I like, and that is setting up all of our default settings. And so you would come over here to where it shows the account. I'm going to click on default settings, and what you will see here is what I think is really cool stuff. All right. The first thing you're going to want to do is to set up all of these particular pieces of the software. And again, this one's kind of general user settings, is pretty basic, not a whole lot there, pretty simple. But when you jump over to RV info, this is where we put in the information about our rig. Okay. Specifications were actually 13.6. But I put 13.7 in as a recommendation from a gentleman I spoke to after our presentation at the national rally. Give myself a little bit of leeway there just in case the roads have changed. I put in 66 feet long. That's our 399 TH, but our Ram 3500 DRW. We're actually not quite that long, but again, a little bit extra. And as far as weight is concerned, 24,999. I'm not going to say anything about that. Some of you may know why that number's there. Fuel type is diesel. Capacity is actually 30 gallons, but it asks for reserve, and so I put 29 and 1. And then our fuel economy is dead on 9.0 miles per gallon over now about 16,000 miles of hauling. I don't want RV Trip Wizard to warn me about fuel. The truck does that for me, but it does give you that opportunity to put it in here if you want. Routing and driving defaults. I don't avoid tolls. I don't avoid highways, ferries, tunnels, unpaved roads. And you may have your reasons why you want those. If you want to, then turn those on and take advantage of that. Routing engine estimate is taking into consideration all my mileage and everything. My average speed is about 65 miles an hour. I use just the tools here to do it. Now down here is something I think's kind of important. The advanced driving radius versus the classic driving radius. Now, I have these set up, you'll see in just a minute at, I'll show you down here. The green one's 100 miles, the gold one is 200 miles, and the red one's 300. All right, that kind of jives with our 330 rule. But if you use a classic driving radius, it's just going to give you 3 circles like this. All right, well, the roads don't work like that. All right, if you're going up and down, you got switchbacks, you can't always look like that. So when you use the advanced driving radius, it takes into consideration all of the twists and turns and the differences in driving. Again, that's why you use that particular one. Expenses, we put in $50 a night for camping. We actually do a little bit less than that. $10 for meals, $15 for miscellaneous expenses, and average cost per gallon $3.50 is probably a little higher than that right now. But one of the things I will tell you is look for in the future. We have been tracking all of our expenses. We have a bookkeeper that works for us, and here before too long, we will actually be able to share with folks our exact expenses, gas, lodging, food, everything, both when we are on the road and when we are sitting still. And we think that's going to be kind of very interesting information. Our goal is to get 2 years of data underneath our belt, and then we'll be coming out with that. So, and then this is another one of the really cool tools that we like is you get to add all of your preferred campgrounds over here. You'll see I've got AAA, Thousand Trails, Escapees, Good Sam, KOAs, National Parks, COEs, You get to put all of those, and they simply come from this list over here, and you can add those. Let me add ACN. I don't even know what that is. All right, but it puts ACN in here, and then actually I'm going to take it off. All right, once you get all of this in there. All right, and by the way, I don't click on the show only preferred campgrounds because I want to stay flexible. All right, you save those default settings. All right, now we're ready to get to work here. I'm going to open a new trip, and I'm going to show you how to do a short trip, and I'm going to show you two methodologies here. So new trip. Okay, we're going to call this Texas Grand Design Rally. Oop. Demo, and we're going to say we're leaving on, let's just put this out here in the future a little bit, December 1st. Okay, so this is our demo trip. We're going to create that. We're going to start at Texas. Texas RV Ranch Resort in Alvarado, Texas. Okay, and we're going to use that as our start point. So we have a starting date and a starting point, right? So it's going to populate all that information for us. Now it's going to walk me through these defaults again. All right, got my general defaults, my RV info, route and driving, expenses. Now, if I want to change any of that, I can, but I'm just going to use the defaults. But if you want to do something specifically different for this trip, you can do that there. So I'll save all my trip settings. Okay. And let's see here. Let me see if I want to show you that now or show you that later. All right. We're going to go to, I'm going to show you two ways to do this. All right. Let's say we want to go to the Hot Springs, Arkansas area. All right, we want to go to Hot Springs, Arkansas. And so first thing is just pick an area. I don't know where I want to stay yet. All right, but I've got an area I want to stay in. So this is putting me in the middle of downtown Hot Springs, Arkansas. And when I zoom out here, you can see it starts populating all of the different places around there that I could stay. Okay, and let's see here. Here's Lake Ouachita State Park. This is Lake Catherine State Park. We've stayed at both of those. Actually, I take it back. We stayed at Lake Catherine. We were going to stay at Lake Ouachita, and I'll show you in a minute why we didn't. Okay. Let's see here. If I want to zoom in, I can see a few more here. Okay, zoom in a little bit more. All right, and it shows you all of these different places that you can stay in Hot Springs. There's the Gulf of George National Park, really a cool place. J&J, Hot Springs National, KOA, and that is actually where we stayed. All right, so let me show you how to do your research. All right, I'm going to pick this one because I am familiar with it, and let me show you how we do the research. Okay, so whenever you pick a park, all right, let's say you're not going to a particular park, you're going to an area and you want to check out the park. All right, here's some really cool stuff that this will show you. The first thing I'm going to show you before I forget it is satellite map. All right, now a lot of people are talking about, hey, you grab Google Earth and you go and find it and everything. This is the satellite map for the park. Okay, and you can zoom in and look at different things and check it all out. We actually stayed right here. I believe it was that one. It may have actually, I think it was this spot right here. And it was the most difficult spot I've had to get into and out of in all of our travels. All right, so you can get the Google Map look. There's their phone number if you want to call it. You can go to their website. This is going to take you to the KOA website where you can search for and actually make your reservation, if you will. I'm not going to go through that process, but with KOAs, you can do that. With state parks, you can do that. With COEs, you can do that. Some you'll have to call. All right. This is where I really start liking this tool. Features of the park, amenities and everything. But here is where I do my research. Okay, campground reviews. Now notice this is taking me over to campground reviews, which is actually Campendium. All right, and I can do my research over here. Okay, it shows me the price, how many sites they have, shows full hookups. I got pictures I can look at. Connectivity, AT&T. All right, this actually shows the average test, maximum, Verizon, Sprint. Nobody's shared information there. Sprint works. T-Mobile, which we use, is obviously slower than AT&T. No Starlink yet. All kinds of really cool tools that you can see here on this dashboard. And then you've got reviews. All right. Shows 8.1, 4 out of 5 stars, 146 reviews. Excellent, good, average, poor, terrible. I always look at the terrible one first. All right. I want to see why somebody didn't like it. KOA very hard to find after dark. Nobody called us, nor were we able to reach anyone by phone. Finally found the place, envelope left with lot number, which has window to window. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. Again, I've not looked at this particular one here. Do you think it was a problem with the resort itself or with the fact that they arrived after dark? Okay, I'm going to suggest it was because they arrived after dark and haven't actually stayed there. I get it. This place does have a lot of tight turns. It is upward, up and down. There are some very narrow places to get into. Like I said, toughest place I've been in. But during the daytime, it was a piece of cake. All right. So let's come back up here and let's see what the excellent said. So I got 76 excellent and 1 terrible. And my guess is what had to do with showing up after dark. And again, understandable, but doesn't mean it was a bad place. So the good ones, okay, I read those. Very nice campground, up to par, what you expect from KOA. Site was level, fire pit, picnic table, full hookups. Staff members assisted us getting back in. Yes, they do that. Okay, loaded a few miles from the national park and not too far from downtown. Shows you what they were in, by the way. We camped at Hot Springs National Park KOA in a 5th wheel. All right, this one was in a motorhome. Again, look at those reviews and see what they have to say. All right, tons and tons of great information there. Read those reviews. Now, you might read something that does not jive with what you want to do, does not work for you. Unlevel sites, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is that may not work for you, then you can just go on and look at a different place. Okay, so I'm going to go back to TripWizard. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to look at Lake Ouachita State Park. By the way, we did go there. It's a beautiful place, but let me show you why I actually canceled our stay there and moved over to the KOA. Look right here. Connectivity, no Wi-Fi, no AT&T, no Verizon, no Sprint, no T-Mobile. When we went and visited the park, and we actually went on a fishing trip out of the park, that is accurate. There is 0 signal there. And because Christy and I both work, it would not work for us. It wouldn't suit our needs. Okay, so that's why we did not camp there. So again, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to X that out. I'm going to come back to by the way, just show you these other guys here. Hot Springs ORV Park, Catherine's Landing. We have stayed there. Beautiful park, and really a cool place. So let's say that I want to stay at Catherine's Landing. I add it to the trip. I'd say I'm going to stay there for 4 nights. This is going to be after here. And if I want to make any comments, I can. I add it to my trip. And boom. When you say show entire trip, it looks like this. Okay. And then over here, I've got how many miles it is to Catherine's Landing, my estimated cost based upon my expenses. This is drive time based upon my the driving engine that it uses. All of these things are really kind of a cool part of all of this. Now, I want to show you now all of the filters that I use to build this particular, my search engine, if you will. So I'm going to expand all of these to give you an idea of the tools that are available that you can use to set your search engine up. Okay, so first thing is park types. I have commercial and private, state parks, national parks, Corps of Engineers. If I want to add BLM DNR, I can, but there's none. There's city parks available. If you're in the military and you use the fan cams, you can add those. And by the way, these are all the parks in view of this trip. So there are more than park ratings. I started off using nothing but 4- and 3-star parks, but here's what I'm going to share with you. By using all, I have found 2-star parks that were outstanding. All right, 3-star parks that were outstanding. And so I don't use that feature anymore, that filter anymore. I use all. And again, it shows me places that I might not think of to stay. Park features. I like pull-throughs. I like pets allowed. I like big rig access. Now that doesn't mean it only shows me pull-throughs, but it does show me those. You can add boondocking to it if you're looking for places for cabins and cottages. All of these things are here. And by the way, when we did this at National, somebody pointed this out. It does show clothing optional places. Now you do notice I have not got that clicked on, right? Kind of crazy. Kid friendly, members only, permanent only, racetracks, wineries, specialty parks. There's all different kinds of parks that you can use as your filters. And if you want to use the clothing optional, feel free to do that. Just don't let me know about it. I'd rather not know. Okay, I prefer 50 amp, although I have 30, 20, and 15 checked. I don't have to have full hookups. I don't check Wi-Fi simply because I found that even when they say they have Wi-Fi, it's not something I depend on. Cable, satellite TV hookups, no. Center water. I would like sewer, but not demanding it. I would like water, but I don't demand it. Amenities, restroom, showers, laundry, cafe. You know, if you're looking for particular amenities, if you have horses, if you've got a plane, you need a landing strip, propane available, you can click those. All these kinds of things. Pricing again. I don't use just 3 price, 4 price, 2 price. I use all of them. I have found these less expensive parks to be really cool and serve our needs sometimes on maybe just one night stop. If you have any recreation needs, anything that you really want, you want to be able to fish, you need a gym. Again, just look at all these things that you can use as search engine filters. Here's all my memberships again. Put all those in there. And so all of these filters are used to help this search engine find the places that I want to stay. All right, so I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to delete this. Okay, so that's now I'm looking for an area. Now I want to go to a specific park. All right, and just for the fun of it, because I know it's easy to find, I'm going to type in Lake Catherine State Park. Boom. I want to go there. All right. Park details. Again, I can do my research. And by the way, at Lake Catherine State Park, there is connectivity, not very good, but it'll show you here the speed test. Okay, Wi-Fi. I don't remember the Wi-Fi there, and I certainly don't remember it being that speed, but this is early on for us. So by the way, our first long trip, second stop. So anyway, let's say I want to stay there, then I'm going to add it to my trip using this tool now. I'm going to stay there 4 nights. It's going to be after Texas Ranch Resort, add it to my trip, and then boom, there we are. Okay, 349 miles, $436. That's how you plan like a single trip. And let's say that you live in Dallas and you want to go to Austin. All right, you can do your research in Austin. You want to go to New Braunfels and you want to find all the places. This is a great tool for researching places to stay at some of the places you might want to go. All right, so let me go back to open a trip, and I'm going to open this one. This is our 26 stops, 81 days on the road, just now wrapping up trip. And you can see here, we started off at Lloyd Park, Alley Creek Camp in East Texas, Hot Springs National Park KOA, the one we just showed you, Natchez Trace. By the way, this is interesting in that originally we were only in Hot Springs for 4 days, Natchez Trace for 2. We've been in Natchez Trace State Park, beautiful park, beautiful park. But we had other things we wanted to do in Hot Springs. We extended our stay with the KOA by 1 day, and we deleted 1 day from our Natchez Trace trip. Okay. Then we went to Kentucky Horse Park Campground, amazing place again. Need to go back there. Lake Loramie State Park. We actually stayed an extra day at Kentucky Horse Park, skipped this one and drove all the way to Duke Creek Campground. This is actually not where we stayed. We stayed with some friends in Cedar Springs, Michigan, but I use this as a placeholder. Elkhart for the rally, and then we shoot across all the way across Iowa and Nebraska to get to Colorado. We only stayed 1 day in each of these, and we added an extra day at Mountaindale. All right, so by the way, this Cabela's RV Park and Campground was a really cool place. It's where Cabela's first Cabela's was, and we had a great time there. I got to shop at Cabela's. Peacock Meadows RV Park, Bayside, Bayfield, Riverside. We actually skipped this one as well, and drove all the way to Bayfield, and we canceled that one and added a day here. And then to Moab, 4 days, Thousand Lakes in Torrey, Utah for 3 days, Grand Plateau RV Resort in Kanab, and then Grand Canyon. And then look at that. I mean, this is how all of this worked. All right. And we get down here to, let's see, where was that? Caprock. Okay. Caprock, we actually, between there and Old River where the rally was, we had 5 open days in here that we just left in there as kind of a buffer for the whole trip. Well, so after Caprock, we went and we spent actually 2 nights in the vineyards, 3 nights in the vineyards, and we came over to Old River Road Resort on Sunday. And so we came in early there, and we left, and we stayed 1 more day here, but we used those 5 days in there as a buffer. We are currently at Inks Lake. We're going to Hickory Creek north of Dallas for a open invite camping group deal for Halloween, and then we end up back at Texas Ranch RV Resort, where we'll be sitting for 6 months. So that is how we plan a big trip, how we plan a short trip. And again, notice this big trip is nothing but 1 step after the other, 1 step after the other, 1 step after the other. Sometimes, let me give you an example here. When we went from Elkhart to Mountaindale in Colorado Springs, okay, we knew we were going to stop here. I had a speaking engagement in Colorado Springs. I did not have these booked, and so I literally went in and just put placeholders along the route by doing this. Let's see here. So here's Elkhart. Okay, I'm going to click on Elkhart, and you're going to see what it's going to do. It's going to take me there, and I can zoom out, and you will see my 3 rings. Okay, green, gold, and red. And so you'll notice, okay, I'm going to make these go away. Boom. Okay, I'll make those go away just for a second so you can see. So here's Elkhart, and there's my 3 rings. We went a little further than the 3rd ring did, but that gives me an idea where to start looking. And I knew we had a long way to go, so I stretched each of those a little bit. Literally, you know, like I said, quite a ways on a couple of these trips here. All right, so again, that's how we do it. I'm sure I didn't cover everything. I'm sure there's a lot of questions you have. Like I said, do not hesitate. Let us know if you have any questions or if we can help you in any way. Said a lot of fun doing this stuff. Glad to share with you. And again, thank you for your time. God bless you guys. Enjoy your trips out there. Make the most out of it. And like I said, if Chrissy and I can ever help you along the way, we'd appreciate it. We encourage you. We'd love to have you join our Facebook group, Joy Hauling with Team Jacobus, and keep up with our travels. We have some things coming up. I am getting ready to start doing a series of educational webinars with folks. I'll tell you more about that in the future. You can join our, subscribe to our blog and follow us there. That said, nonetheless, again, we want to encourage you any way we can. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for following along. Take care.